Aloha, everyone. Thank you for the gift of your time in joining us today for this important bill signing. Today, Governor Josh Green will sign HB 2526 relating to motor vehicles and SB 2347 relating to crime. He will also provide details about two bills relating to traffic and public safety here in Hawaii, SB 2443 relating to highway safety, and HB 2071 relating to photo red light imaging detector systems. Together, these four bills will improve safety on our roads and in our communities. Facilitated questions and answers will follow promptly after remarks conclude, and the formal bill signing will commence shortly thereafter. Without further ado, it is my privilege to introduce to you Governor Josh Green.
Aloha, everyone. We're really hitting it hard today. Lots of bills and lots of mahalos to go around. Today I'm going to address the group about two or three specific bills, and then I'm going to humbly ask Speaker and colleagues to come up for some additional brief comments. Why are we here today? Because there are circumstances in which we have tragedies. We can have accidents on the road. My experience is as an emergency room physician unfortunately taught me a lot about what can happen. And anything that can be done should be done to make things safer. It's hard work, and it requires balance between the executive branch, legislative branch, and even those that work on these things legally, because we want to make as much positive outcome as we can. So let's go to the first slide that we're going to talk about today. So this is going to be about traffic safety. I'm very honored to sign HB 2526 today, which increases the penalties for unsafe and unlicensed driving offenses. The penalties go up because people in this category are being irresponsible. There are some people that are very irresponsible, more than others, and are a great danger to society. That's what was expressed to me by the Speaker, and I want to commend Speaker Psyche for fighting so hard for this. We did put this bill originally on the list of potential bills that wouldn't become law, just because we were waiting to see if we could actually manage the necessary crimes, the times we catch people, and to do a good job with it. But I was convinced by him and others that we can. And so we're going to make this law today. So it increases the penalties. It was drafted and passed in response to the traffic tragedies that occurred in our community. And we can't ever bring anyone back, but our job is to do all that we can, always going forward. And so that's what this is about today. In this case, the third driving without a license offense will be, if it occurs within 5 years, will now be a Class C felony. And that's important because it's not too much to ask for people to take that responsibility. It's just not. So I think that's excellent. So thank you, Speaker, so much. And thank you, colleagues, leaders in the committees. They make these priorities happen. Okay, so the next bill we're going to go to, and Speaker will come up in a moment to tell us more about the first. Next bill is establishing the offense of habitually violent crime. This bill is next. It's Senate Bill 2347. Got it up there? There we go. Establishes as a Class C felony habitual violent crimes. And so people who commit 3 or more violent crimes, which are misdemeanors or felony convictions within 5 years, as separate incidents, are going to get busted harder. And we're really using this as a deterrent to chronic crime. Again, for our communities, sometimes enough is enough is really what we're saying here. So that is Senate Bill 2347. I think we're going to hear maybe from Senator Moriwaki on this. Yes. Okay. And then finally, two acts, Act 163, forgive me, and 112. These are two bills that are now law, actually. Photo red light imaging detector systems, so that the red light images of vehicles can be evidence for violations. Again, slowing people down just a little bit. And speed kills on the highways. That's really what we know. So it's a good bill, and we're checking this out to see if it can be made to be more effective to keep our people safe. And then finally, the Automated Speed Enforcement Systems Bill, which again establishes this automated speed enforcement program. We're using our ability to measure with devices and cameras to capture images of vehicles that are speeding well above the speed limit, and then people will get notice and warned if they're doing it. So again, each in their own way will make things safer. And so I'm grateful to community when community comes out. Thank you guys for pushing all of us, the legislature especially, along to make sure that we're taking incremental steps all along the way. This set of bills with long-term views and action taken against people who are drunk driving, who are driving under the influence of other drugs, I think this is what makes us safer overall. So with that, I will pause and just finally say, hey, thank you guys. Good to see you, Adrian, too. Good to see you, brother, also. Thank you guys for indulging all of these press conferences today, because each of these big issues are really, we expect will help people quite a lot in the coming years. And I will then, if I may, give the podium to the speaker. Okay.
Thank you, Governor. I couldn't be outdone by my colleague, Senator Moriwaki, so I wore our Security Watch shirt as well. But thanks for being here, everybody, today. Sadly, there are just too many people in Hawaii who die or are seriously injured while they are a passenger in a vehicle, on a sidewalk, or even in a crosswalk. This year, the legislature made it a priority to work on pedestrian safety, pedestrian and traffic safety. We know that something has to change in Hawaii. House Bill 2526 will enhance the penalty for people who drive repeatedly without a license. The bottom line is, if you want to drive in Hawaii, then you should obtain a driver's license like everyone else. It's very simple to do that. Currently on Oahu, it's estimated that there are 9,000 driving without a license violations every year. And this number is actually probably is smaller, because it only accounts for people who are stopped or picked up for violations like speeding or DUI, and then it's discovered in the course of that process that the person is unlicensed. That 9,000 number does not account for people who are just purely driving without a license and are never stopped by the police. So the message here in this legislation is people need to stop driving without a license. We want to keep our roads safe. We want to keep our roads safe for pedestrians and other drivers. It's something that we take very seriously, and we will be working closely with law enforcement to make sure that this new law is enforced in our state. Thank you very much.
Mahalo, Speaker Saiki. Next, I would like to introduce Senator Sharon Moriwaki.
Aloha, and mahalo, Governor, for signing this very important bill. Like the pedestrian safety that we all want to encourage, this bill has been, I think, one of the bills that we have had the hardest time to pass, because we don't want to criminalize people. We want to make people safe, yet we don't protect the officers who protect us. I'm part of the Citizens Patrol, as is Speaker Saiki, and we walk the streets. We hear from citizens. Some of them have been accosted many times. And the law currently, until this bill gets passed, is that each one of these assaults is a misdemeanor. So we have people with 30 convictions, and they're still catch and release back on the streets. And these are people hurting people. So we have a similar law, which is for property. And if you have three strikes, if you have 3 property crimes in a matter of 5 years, you get shifted up not to a misdemeanor but a felony, so you can go to prison. That's how serious it is. And I asked, why do we have these kinds of laws for property and not people? So people, to me, are much more important. So this bill also protects police officers being accosted, protects people being accosted, and people being subject to domestic violence. All of these, if you do it 3 times in 5 years, you're going to go to prison. So it is a deterrent, But it's also very important that people know their rights, people can see that they're being protected, and our officers are being protected because they protect us. So, mahalo, we look forward to this bill being signed and implemented. We're going to say something really quickly.
This is the most important thing that I want to say because Senator and I are flanked by residents of our community today. These are members of two separate neighborhood security watch teams in our community. I want to just thank them and all of the other residents in our community for supporting this legislation and working with us over the past year. You know, I want to thank and I want to thank the security watch team members because they have been walking for the past 3 or 4 years when these teams began. And you know, in some cases, they are walking twice a month.
No, every week.
Or every week. So we want to just thank them.
Thank you. I just ditto all the speaker's words. And this group here is the Kaka'ako United group. They walk every Monday if you want to join them. And Jean.
Second and fourth Thursday.
And also Secretary Jean is also on the security watch for speakers team. Every other Thursday. But they're very important. So we hope that more citizens join us and help our police officers protect us.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Mahalo, Speaker and Senator Moriwaki. I would next like to introduce Senator Brandon Elefante.
Aloha and happy Aloha Friday, everyone. Governor Green, Speaker Saiki, Senator Moriwaki, Rep. Tam, and all the key members of the Senate and House. Thank you, Governor, for signing into law Act 112. I'm going to share a quick story with you. Not too long ago, when I was in preschool, I was in a severe car accident. And my grandfather, who was driving, I was very hungry. I wanted to go get pandesal at this famous place. And I was strapped into the back seat. And a driver behind us hit us full on, ejected my grandfather from his seat that he was driving in. I was just 4 years old and woke him up. Had it not been for that, it could have been a different outcome. Let alone if we had the technology and the speed cameras back then, this person could have been charged with a fine and maybe more. So I feel this is a good piece of legislation, a good law that we now have in place. As Governor mentioned, speeding does kill. You cannot put a price on someone's life. And we have to remember and be cautious of when we're in the communities and our whereabouts and what we do to be mindful of how we drive and to stay safe. So again, Governor, to you and your team, to Director Sniffen, Deputy Director Lee, and all the people at the Department of Transportation and working with the legislature to come up with a very comprehensive bill that is signed into law that I know that can save lives. Thank you.
Mahalo, Senator Elefante. We have been made aware that media who are gathered here today have no questions. So at this point, I would like to, I know, shocking, right? At this point, I would like to invite Governor back up for some closing remarks and for our bill signing.
So, again,
And stakeholders, please come join Governor.
sure, if you like. Come on. Yes, it's great.
Thanks for having us.
So first we're going to do House Bill 2526. Again, legislature's been stepping into the fray on these surprisingly complex issues. You'd think it would be everyone's interest to move this kind of legislation forward, but we do get a lot of pushback because people are afraid of having to be responsible in some cases for these kind of crimes. So for all the people that are taking the time to get driver's licenses and to make sure they're in good standing, we do this for you. So it's appropriate and fair and safer. So again, thank you, Speaker, so much for making this happen. There we go. And as was shared by Senator Moriwaki, this is the Senate Bill number 2347 to make sure we hold people accountable once again if they've been a multiple offender and if they are causing quite a lot of mayhem in the community. No, it's good. I still will sign this fly. I don't even know what's going on behind me. It's okay. But I'm just really grateful for people listening to community and including everyone and taking their input and turning good ideas into law. And that's what happened today, and that's what we're seeing. So thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Governor.
Yes, of course.
We need that.
Yeah. Let's try to do the pictures.
So we'll hold up these bills. Right, one, Bernie? Everyone should come up. You guys are all welcome if you like. It's totally your call. Shy.